Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn show. Today is March the 14th. I think it's like seven games. It's a nice number of games in the NBA for today. But the slate, when I was looking through it last night, not a ton that I actually absolutely love. The injury report got to clear up a little bit, and I think we'll find some be able to find some angles then. But numbers are moving though. Injuries are not. Numbers are moving. Definitely on the move. As far as recap of yesterday, on the show, I talked about in New Orleans plus a 7. That was a winner. Phoenix and Toronto under, which was a loser. Chicago and LA over the total at 233.5, and that was a loser. Just no scoring late in the fourth quarter. The one I ended up playing was a live play. Fell asleep early last night, so I woke up and caught Phoenix and Toronto into the first quarter and watched the whole first half. And I took a live under at 227.5, sent it out to the members, and just elite shooting. Phoenix couldn't miss a 3. Toronto couldn't miss a 3. And that game ended up 236, 237, I think. So 0-1 day yesterday. I have been struggling. I've really been struggling the last few days. Not even over the last few days, just the last few plays in general. Because I've been taking days off, but it's been a struggle, man. It's been a struggle. Jankiness on the injury report, just a lot of inconsistencies. I don't want to blame it on anything outside of my process, but I gotta do a little bit better here. Got to do a little bit better. We were on a roll at a certain point, and things have really slowed down for me a lot lately. So I'll try to be a little bit better here today. Saturdays are a little janky. Injury report, like I said, got to clear up as well. But I'm hopeful that you guys have been finding ways to make money. Let's jump into it for today. So we'll start with. Let me just make sure I got everything right. Yeah, we'll start with Jackson, AI Sports Betting Tool, linked in the description of the video as it always is. Yeah. So yesterday, I know Jackson liked the Knicks and the Pacers game over the total. That game was a clear under spot from the beginning, and I can't remember what the other total was. There was another total that Jackson liked as well, but I can't remember exactly what it was, if it was over or under. Anyway, for today, I asked Jackson, kind of getting away from totals. I feel like totals have been crushing me lately. I'm looking more towards spreads today. So I asked Jackson, looking at the NBA slate for today, to identify top 3 ATS edges by comparing your projected margins to current odds, evaluate situational and recent trends for these games using last 10 offensive and defensive efficiency, and rank the bets based on confidence. So Jackson, first, the best bet on the board for Jackson is actually the Milwaukee Bucks plus the 8.5. It says, and you got to take this with a grain of salt, because the injury report got to clear up for this team, and you can get a plus 9.5 as well. So it says, while the raw efficiency numbers from the last 10 games heavily favor Atlanta, the market is over-adjusted to Milwaukee's recent struggles. Atlanta is currently on an 8-game winning streak and has the number 1 defensive rating in the league over their last 10 games. However, the Hawks are just 8-11, 42% ATS as home favorites this season. My model projects a much tighter margin within 5.5 points, creating a 3-point edge on the current 8.5 spread. So situational and recent trends, Milwaukee's in a bounce back spot. Historically, road underdogs on short losing streaks often become undervalued as public sentiment turns sharply against them. The Bucks are coming off a game where they allowed Bam Adebayo to score 20 plus points. Let's see what else is important here. Yeah, nothing else really important in this write-up, but so yeah, it says line currently at plus 10.5 on some books, providing even more value. The next one is on ugly dogs, the Brooklyn Nets, plus the 9.5 here against the Philadelphia 76ers. It says the Philadelphia 76ers are being treated as a healthy favorite, despite missing nearly their entire core rotation. My model projects a 6-point margin, yet the market is offering Brooklyn plus 9.5. Philadelphia's defensive rating has ballooned to 118.5 over their last 10 games, and their offensive efficiency is middle of the pack. Brooklyn is statistically poor, but they're 14 and 20 ATS on the road, while Philly is a mediocre 15 and 19 against the spread at home. So situational and recent trends, Philadelphia is facing a catastrophic injury report. Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, and Paul George remain all remain out, even though I think VJ is in for today. So this could be wrong. This leaves the 76ers with the G League level rotation led by Kelly Oubre, who I also think is out. Andre Drummond. Conversely, the Nets have shown resilience, recently ending a 10-game skid by walking down the Pistons after trailing by 20. Zaire Williams is in elite form, shooting 53% over his last 4 games. In a matchup between a depleted favorite and a resilient underdog, the 9.5 points is an over inflation. So the Brooklyn Nets plus the 9.5 and the Milwaukee Bucks plus the 8.5. So Jackson likes some dogs in these games. So let's jump into it for today, man. Again, as always, the links are in the description of the video if you guys are interested in checking it out. So I'm going to skip past the Brooklyn and Philly game. I'm going to skip past Milwaukee and Atlanta as well, at least for now. I'll come back to those in a second. But let's talk about in Washington and Boston. I don't really got no interest in that line going to 20. I agree with it. We'll talk about it. So Charlotte and San Antonio line yesterday was at, I thought I wrote down 6.5. Let me just double check my notes. Yeah, I wrote down 6.5. It looks like it's come down to 5 now. It actually coming down to 4.5 on a couple books. So this tells me that I think a lot of people are thinking that Wemby is not going to play. Or they just got a lot of faith in the Charlotte team. So we talk about the situationals. I just want to double check the injury report real quick, make sure I didn't miss anything. Michael Porter Jr. is out with rest, and that is it so far for today. So this injury report has Victor Wembanyama and Dylan Harper listed as questionable. Of course, you need to know if those guys are going to play. Charlotte looks like they'll be fully healthy. I see Kobe Wright and Ryan Kalkbrenner listed as probable. Salam continues to be out. So on the Charlotte side, it is 3rd and 4th, 4th and 6th, all on the road. Back-to-back wins against Portland and Sacramento after they lost 2 in a row. Remember, they lost to Phoenix. I liked them in that game last Sunday. And then they lost again after that game against Phoenix, they lost again to Miami. Well, before that game, they lost to Miami. So 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 games. Charlotte has not covered the spread. This is the last of a 4-game road trip. 7 of their last 10 have been played on the road as well. So I don't really like the situational spot for Charlotte. If I look at San Antonio, they, of course, are coming off that home loss where they gave up 83 points in the second half against the San Antonio Spurs the other night. I thought that game looked a little fishy in the first half because their defense was just playing too well. And Denver, of course, came in there and, cleaned them up in the second half. But, just kind of looking at Charlotte recently, offense has started to fall off a little bit. In my opinion, I kind of think that San Antonio is in a really good bounce back spot if Victor Wembanyama is ruled in. This is their 6th straight home game. They've gone over in 4 straight. They do have revenge. Charlotte actually beat them 111 and 106 back at the beginning of the season when Charlotte was getting 4 points as a dog. That game stayed under the 228.5, which is exactly where this total is today. So I guess I kind of lean. I'm not playing any total, specifically not any unders anytime soon because unders have been absolutely killing me. I feel like the every time I take an under, teams shoot, extremely well from the 3-point line. So I'm probably going to stay away from unders. I know Charlotte has an offense that can get hot. San Antonio is also the number 1 rated offensive team over their last 5 games. Defense has dropped to 17th, but large part of that is because Victor Wembanyama didn't play in that last game. It's hard to take an over, though, when Charlotte's dead last and pacing their last 5 games. I mentioned them being 3rd and 4th, 4th and 6th. Offense has fallen off a bit. They're 13th in offensive rating compared to the full season where they're 4th. I don't know what to do with the side, but I don't know what to do with the total, but I do kind of feel like you get a really good effort from San Antonio after losing that game to Denver in their last one. I don't know, man. I kind of feel like I don't know if the books are kind of caught up to Charlotte, but if Victor Wembanyama is in, I do think that they can beat the Charlotte team by 2 possessions. So I'll lean with San Antonio, but until the injury report clears up, specifically on Victor Wembanyama, I do think I'll be on the sideline. If Wembanyama gets rolled out, Charlotte could potentially win this game outright. Is my thought process. Just defensively, they've been completely night and day with Victor Wembanyama on the floor versus him being off the floor. Charlotte's the better rebounding team, and I think they'll get up for this game. Whereas recently, if you've been betting on Charlotte, you've been taking them, as a favorite. With them getting points on the road, they've been really, really good on the road. But let's see, against the Kings, they were laying 14.5, didn't cover. Against the Blazers, they were laying 3. They got out to that slow lead. Got out behind in that game. I think they were down double digits in the second quarter, ended up winning the game by 2. And they also didn't cover against the Suns, and they didn't cover against the Heat. So they've been laying points in their last 4. Last time they were actually getting points was against the Celtics, and they were getting 6.5. And remember they smoked the Celtics by 29. So as a dog recently, they've been pretty good. Let's see, last 6 times they've been a dog. They've won 3 straight up, and they've covered 4 to 6 spreads, 4-1-1 against the number, 5-1 to the under as well. So 5 of their 6 opponents have stayed under their team total as well. So Hornets as a road dog this season have been pretty good. As a dog in general, covering 63% of the time. If they're a road dog, covering 65% of the time, 15-8 against the number. So if Wemby doesn't play, then maybe we see Charlotte able to do what they want to do in this game. Let's see what you guys are thinking before we move on to the next. What's up, PYG? Says Chris. Lines lately are too janky. Yeah, I kind of agree, man. It's just been, I don't know. It's been a little difficult for myself as well. I do agree with that. Let's see. Bulls Clippers over, acting like that went under as well. Yeah, that was a crazy one. What up, 77 figures? He says, first off, Celtics minus 20-point spread. Crazy work. Who's on the Wizards? We'll talk about that game in a second. What else y'all saying? Any other comments on this game? Tommy says Spurs minus 4.5 here. This is disrespectful to the Spurs with what they have been doing to teams at home. They were just laying this number against the Nuggets. We think the Hornets are as good as the Nuggets. Absolutely not. I think they barely beat the Trailblazers. Kobe White didn't do anything, but take bad shots and run around with a bad afro. I think if the number is as low, it's because Wemby's probably not gonna play. Somebody knows something, but we'll see. We'll see if that holds to be true. We shall see. I'm not sure. Spurs and under. Fox been cooking. Took his points over. Adam says okay. Daniel says Spurs minus 10.5. Jojo says he likes Miles Bridges over his rebounds and assists. I agree. They don't even need Wemby. They don't need Wemby? I don't know about that. What's up, Fahrenheit? It's top of the morning, Chris, in chat. Like, comment, subscribe, share, become a member, buy some merch. Appreciate you for sure. Yeah, I would argue, Tommy, that you're right. I would argue that the offense, I just talked about it, 13th in offensive rating versus 4th on the full season. I would argue that if Victor Wembanyama is not going to play, they're going to be the better rebounding team. They're the better defensive team, in my opinion, and they can shoot the ball if they get hot, just as good as San Antonio can. So a little bit of pushback here. I think if Wemby is in, I think you take this up to minus 6.5. I do think San Antonio is that much better than Charlotte. However, if Victor Wembanyama doesn't play, Charlotte can win this game outright. They can definitely win this game outright. Is my thought process. Yeah, they definitely need Wemby to beat the Hornets, in my opinion. That's my opinion, though. What up, Malik? Hope all is well with you, bro. Out in Chi-Town. 77 figures is Hornets plus 5. Expect a shootout. Okay. So over in Charlotte. All right, let's go to the next one, which is Magic and Heat. This is a very interesting game, man. This line has not moved since last night. Let me just double check it. Yeah, hasn't moved since last night. Still 3. I saw some 3s, but 3.5 is consensus. Open Miami laying 2.5. It's up to 3.5. Total 234.5. I saw it all the way up as high as 237. It looks like it's coming back down. And as much as I hate unders, this is one that I think got to be an under. I'm not gonna play it because right now under's been just eating my bankroll up. But we look at the injury report, which has let me just confirm. But I know Wiggins is out. I know that Tyler Hero is questionable, which is big. And Norman Powell is also listed as questionable, which is also really, really big. So another game where like you got impact players and you need to know what's going to happen with these impact players. Jovic is out and Drew Smith is probable. And then on the on the Orlando side of things, no Jonathan Isaac, no Anthony Black, and Franz continues to be out as well. So this is the divisional game. If you guys look at the standings, these two teams are like right beside each other, both 10.5 games back. out of the first place. The only difference is Orlando has beat Miami all 3 times. So you got a triple revenge spot here for Miami. I like that both teams have absolutely been hooping. You don't really want to fade either one of them. Orlando has won 6 straight, but this is 3rd and 4. I think it's 4th and 6 for Orlando as well. And they might have shot themselves in the foot a little bit by having to go to overtime with the Washington Wizards the other night. That was not expected, laying 15 points in that game. On the Miami side of things, they played a pretty easy strength of schedule, but they've just been in a groove lately. 8-2 against the number, last 10, 7 straight wins for them, 7 straight covers for them, and this is their 4th straight home game. So you kind of got to ask yourself, is this Miami team? It's a lot of moving factors here. Like, who's going to play in the game is the most important piece, right? Is Norm Powell going to play? Is Tyler Hero going to play? Like I said, we know Wiggins is out. Do you really want to fade Orlando, being that they've won 6 straight as well? Like I said, all coming off an overtime game. But Miami, 4th straight home game, just been at the crib, triple revenge. You kind of figured this is the Miami spot. 3.5 is a lot to lay, in my opinion. Orlando going to own the tiebreaker over Miami as far as division goes, because even if Miami does win this game, Orlando still will be 3-1 as far as the season goes. So it's hard not to look at Orlando because they've been playing really, really good basketball, knocking off Cleveland, going into Minnesota, knocking them off as well, kind of been taking care of business against the suck teams as well. Defensively, they've been pretty good, but even offensively, they've been pretty good. So I guess the way I want to play is under, but I can't take another under. I can't take under, man. Maybe something live. Even last night, live wasn't good. But this Orlando team is 1st in defensive rating. This is the same stuff that I said the other day when they were playing against Cleveland. It didn't even matter because Cleveland couldn't get stops. But they're 1st in defensive rating. Both of these teams have been playing super strong, super easy strength of schedules. Orlando has played the 4th easiest strength of schedule in their last 5 games. Miami's played the 2nd easiest strength of schedule. But both teams are number 1 and number 5 defensive rated teams. I think both teams have been playing, can guard the 3-point line really, really well. Miami wants to take a bunch of threes and kind of run pretty fast. 12th and 2nd as far as pace goes. Orlando 12th, Miami 2nd. I know Orlando's been doing really good against the 3-point shot, but Miami's really been scoring in the paint. So they've been getting downhill. I don't know what to do with the game. I want to bet under, but probably no play for me. Definitely need the injury report to clear up before I decide what I want to do as far as the side goes. Let's see. Daniels has been over. Magic 4-0 against the Heat this season. Give me the Magic plus 3.5. Team total over. Oh, it's 4 times. My fault. I saw 3 times. They might have played like in the in-season tournament game too, because typically you only play 4 games for the full season. So let's see. Yep, that's my fault. Yeah, 4-0. My fault. I said 3-0. 4-0. Magic have beaten Miami all 4 times. I remember the first one season, I think, came on Pat Riley night, right? Wasn't it the game that the jersey was being retired? And I think I might have been on Orlando in that game, thinking they were getting too many points. They won the game outright, but Miami has looked like a little bit better team. We'll see if the trend holds today. PYG says hard to play over under in Orlando if they are against the fast-paced team. They step up their offense and nuke the over, and that I kind of feel like that too. But I guarantee you, if I play it under, I guarantee you if I play it over, nobody will make a shot. Nobody will make a shot. It'll be a big drought. Man, need that. Got a good old medicine ball. Allergies kicking my butt again. Like, it's that time of the year, man. 77 Figures says, man, Hero might as well put on a ski mask. Dude never play. He's always on the injury report. It keeps me off. I agree with that. Just Stray says, Line has been doing me dirty the last week. Player props only this weekend. Yeah, I'll give you guys one player prop I was looking at. And if I got some time, we can talk some more player props as well, especially if you guys got them. I'll look into some research on them. All right, hit the like button for me if you can. Subscribe to the channel if you guys have not. That stuff helps out the algorithm, all that good stuff. I will be live again tomorrow. I'm also doing a show with Jay I think we're doing it at noon. So I'll be doing that show with Jay in about an hour as well. Let's get into my Lakers, man. Lakers and the Denver Chicken Nuggets. So very, very interesting game. So this line opened with Lakers getting 2.5. I saw it go all the way up to, I want to say it touched 4. I could be tripping. I think I saw 4 though. And now it looks like it's come back down and settled right at 3. So 2.5 popping up as well at BetMGM. Total skyrocket. Yesterday I wrote down 241.5. It's all the way up to as high as 240. I saw it touch 246. It looks like South Point still got 246. Circle got 246. And DraftKings got a 246.5, which makes me really want to take the under because DraftKings is not that sharp of a book. So injury report wise, looks like Denver's going to be fully healthy. They got Aaron Gordon listed as probable, Jamal Murray listed as probable. Aaron Gordon missed that last game, of course. And the Lakers will be pretty healthy as well. I think just Marcus Smart missed that last game, but he's not on the report. So that should help the defense out a little bit. Jackson Hayes is probable, and Maxi Klebus without any return. So we look at, just kind of matching the teams up. Denver still not playing a lot of defense, 24th in defensive rating the last 5 games, but they are 10th in offensive rating, which is maybe why this total is going up. They are playing at the 7th fastest pace. The Lakers just kind of middle of the pack in pace, 16th over their last 5 games. They have played a pretty easy strength of schedule, 21st, and Denver has played the strongest strength of schedule in their last 5 games. So can Denver come in here and clean up the Lakers is the question, right? If we look at just like this matchup this season, the Lakers had actually been playing Denver really, really good until they had to go to Denver. And then they lost that game. That was like, 9 days ago? Back on March 5th. Denver won 120-113. I like the under in that game at 241.5, and I don't think I pulled the trigger. I think I was a little gun shy in that one. That one did stay under total. Lakers, cratered. Specifically at the end of the game. Denver that won the game, covering the four-point spread. So can they get the job done again? So this is third matchup of the season. The Lakers won the first one in Denver, 115-107. That game, of course, did not feature Nikola Jokic. So a couple things. First is Denver is playing 3rd and 4th, 4th and 6th, all with travel. So Denver has played. They had the Knicks at the crib after playing the Lakers on the second leg of a back-to-back. Then they had to go to OKC. Then they came home for Houston, and then second leg of back-to-back had to travel to San Antonio. So not necessarily the greatest situational spot. They have won both back-to-back games after losing to OKC. They've covered 3 spreads in a row. I can't unsee Denver being a road favorite and how they just don't want to play any defense. It's really, really difficult. Road favorite Denver is just don't play any defense. I've been saying this since I've been screaming this for the mountaintops. It feel like all season. If we look at the trend, which I don't even need to look at it. I want to give you guys the numbers though. Denver has a road favorite, 17-5 to the over. These games average 241, which is higher than today's total. Looks like they've gone over in 4 straight. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of the last 11 have gone over when they've been a road favorite. I just can't take totals at 246.5, knowing that, both of these teams can slow it down and play a little bit slower. Knowing that Denver had to come back from down 15. I think it was bigger than that. I know they were down 15, at least 15 at halftime. But, it's a spot where you could potentially, run out of gas late. So I can't get there with the over. Lakers have been playing a little bit better defense as of late, even though their strength of schedule has been pretty easy. They beat the Bulls, gave up 130. They didn't really care too much in that game. But, in the games where they've been a dog recently, like against the Timberwolves, they gave up 106. Against the Knicks, they gave up 97. Beat the Pacers. They were laying big points in that game, though. And defensively, they held Denver to 120 in Denver the other day as well. So I guess I say all that to say, I guess I like under. Don't think I'm going to be able to pull the trigger. Lakers have been playing well, of course. They're much better on the road at home than on the road. 19-14-1 at the crib. 7-3 against the spread last 10. They have won 7 of the last 8 as well. 7-3 to the under in their last 10, and they've comfortably been at the crib. 5th straight home game for my LA Lakers as well. But Bron is back now, and we know the trend. With Bron in, they have not been good. Outside of the Bulls game, of course. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me see what you guys are thinking. Let's see. Bane 3 threes for Just Dre plus 185. I can't talk you off of this, DJ. Can't talk you off of this. Adam says I'm on Luke Kennard over 8.5 points here. And Braun over his assists. Also bet Aiden under his points and rebounds. But that's gone now. Okay. Luke Kennard let Daniel down last game. Sound like you guys aren't super invested in this game either. But let's keep going. Let's just pull up the rest of the games, and I'll talk you guys through those. So let's start at the top. I don't really have interest in betting Brooklyn and Philly. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, I try to find value at times, but other times I look at these games and I'm 10 minutes into researching whether player prop, size, totals, team totals, any of those things, and I'm thinking to myself, what are you doing, Chris? Like, how upset you gonna be if this bet don't hit because Brooklyn is playing against Philly and we have no, huge data samples for a game like this. I'll tell you guys where I started the research. I started the research with the over. Nicholas Claxton was listed as out yesterday. MPJ was listed as doubtful. He's since been ruled out. And of course, Philly's gonna be without their big three. No Oubre as well. So I kind of thought over was the play. You got Philly on the first leg of back-to-back overs for them against Memphis and Detroit. They're still playing super fast. And 215.5 just seems like a super low number. We know Brooklyn's one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA. I think last 10 games, they have a 127.8 defensive rating, which is the second worst during that time span. Allowing opponents to score at will. Philly, they have a 118 defensive rating as well. So I know Brooklyn's not a team that scores a bunch of points, but if I'm playing, I'm taking the over. As far as player props go, this was the one game where I started to look at player props and I said, man, I can't do this. But if there was one that I was going to play today, just based on the research that I've done, it would be on Noah Clowney. So I like Clowney over his boards. This was 4.5 at plus 130. So plus money, nothing wrong with that. So we look at Noah Clowney. Let's see. What did I write in my notes? All right. So Noah Clowney this season, rebounds at 4.5. A large part of this, if we just zoom out to the whole season, we can see that he's averaging right at 4.17. So we need him to grab one extra board today. If we go here, we factor in games without Michael Porter Jr. His rebounds get better. And you can see that he averages 4.5. So we just need a little bit of variance on our side. You can see that he's over in 4 of his last 5 games. So we just need him to get to 5. We don't even necessarily need him to get to 6. The 76ers are not the best rebounding team. You can see that they're 18th here. But if we look even deeper at the last 15 games, they've allowed the 7th most rebounds and the 6th most offensive rebounds as well. So I do think that Noah Clowney's in a good spot to grab some boards. Maybe campaign, shoot some of those janky left-handed jump shots. A lot of rebound opportunities for somebody like Noah Clowney. I am expecting him to play between 22 and 30 minutes, which I think, you look at this number here, 27.7. He's over in 5 of his 8 games so far this season, clearing this 4.5 rebound number. At plus 130, I think is worth a stab. Not a super big play, but that's the one that I would look at. And as always, the link is in the description if you guys are interested in checking out Outlier as well. It's where I use to handicap my player props. 7 figures. He'll lay the points. Denver owns the Lakers. I don't know. Not since JJ Redick been there. 7 figures. Not since JJ Redick been there. Lakers actually have been playing this team really, really good as of late. Lakers have actually won 3 of the last 5. And a lot of this has to do with JJ Redick being there. Lakers have actually covered 4 of the last 5 as well. 4 of the last 5 against the Nuggets. The only cover that the Nuggets have is the most recent one. So I kind of disagree there. All right, let's go to the next one, which is Milwaukee and Atlanta. So this game's hard to bet because Kevin Porter Jr. and Giannis are both listed as questionable. Looks like, based on where the line is, looks like they probably won't play because it moved from 8 to 9.5. It looks like on most books. The total had actually touched 230, and now it's coming back down. I know Atlanta has been playing an easy strength of schedule. I know that Milwaukee's been absolutely trash. I just kind of think that we see the same thing in this game. Like, I don't know how much Milwaukee want to win games or really care about the rest of the season. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to make the play-in. So 3 straight losses for them. They haven't covered any of them. Just 1-6 straight up. 1-6 straight up and against the spread in their last 7 games. And it's the first leg of a back-to-back. They got the Pacers tomorrow. Atlanta's been comfortably at the crib. They've been comfortably winning at the crib. 8 straight wins, 9-1 straight up in their last 10. They've been playing some pretty good defense against the weak teams that can't score. Like they held Dallas and Brooklyn under. Both of those games went under. They still haven't beaten any good teams yet, but it is their 5th straight home game. They're 7-3 to the under in their last 10 games. And I thought it was interesting that these two teams just played. Atlanta blew Milwaukee out on March the 4th, and that game finished 244, but this total opened 4 points lower. That was kind of suspicious. I think that's because the Bucks probably won't play Giannis, but we'll see where the total goes. So I say all that. I guess I lean Milwaukee team total under. I think it was 109.5. They're averaging 107 in their last 13 games. Atlanta is the second best defensive rated team, albeit against the easiest strength of schedule. But the Bucks look like one of those easy opponents lately. Third worst offensive rated team. They aren't playing fast. 17th in pace last 5 games. You just need to know the status of Michael Porter Jr. and Giannis, of course, because you definitely don't want to get a 109.5 and then Giannis, gets ruled in. Him and if Giannis gets ruled in and Kevin Porter Jr. gets ruled in, you get a terrible number. So, not the biggest fan of land points with Atlanta, but Milwaukee's look like they've been that bad recently. Washington, Boston, man, I don't really want to touch on this game. So I do know Derek White is in, Jason Tatum is in. A Boston first home game after a 3-game road trip. Arguably the best 3 teams in the league is who they played recently as well. So expecting a little bit of offensive regression, which is why I think this total has moved up from 228.5 up to 230.5. I had a system on the over, and I have a system on the Celtics. So this was actually active last night. I'll pull this up real quick so you guys can see it. It says later points, and you may not even need to watch the game. I'm not sure if I'll do so, but this does help a lot. So let me just minimize myself, make this a little bit, zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. All right, so this is home favorites land 15 points or more since post-COVID with a total that's less than 230 after the All-Star break, right? So you can see that they're 27-11 against the number. They cover 71% of the time. Average number is 17. They typically win by 22.5 points. You guys can see that right here. And it was active on this game, but now the total is a little bit higher. So if total is less than 231, you see it drops down to still 68% of the time. I'm sorry, 63% of the time, which you can see that it is active on Celtics and Wizards. This season, 5-2 ATS. I consider taking the Wizards team total under. Not sure how engaged the Celtics want to be defensively. But they do play slow. I'm just expecting some hyper efficiency. And I'm not expecting anything from the Wizards, like always, especially with them playing I guess that was their bounce back game after giving up, 5,000 points to Bam in that last one, taking Orlando to overtime. They're first in pace in their last 5 games. Still worst defensive rated team at 128. Boston's offensive efficiency is 24th in their last 5 games, but again, they played the second strongest strength of schedule behind only Denver. So take all that stuff with a grain of salt. If I'm playing, I'm laying. Don't want anything to do with the Washington Tankards. Let's see. What up, Frankie? Appreciate you for tapping in. Yeah, I agree with this 77 billion. Tommy says Boston, second ATS team after the second best ATS team coming off a loss. Celtics won by 30. Team total over 124.5. They scored 130 in both games against the Wizards this season. I also had that written in my notes. Both games went over. Did I write it down? Yeah, both games went over the total. Boston scored 136 and 146 in those games. I wrote books can't set the total high enough. That's what I wrote last night. Let's see. Took Derek White points over. That makes sense. Derek White assists over. All that stuff could be in play. Somebody get a triple double in this game. Do we have more? Let's see. What else? No, that's all the games. The only other one is Sacramento and the Clippers. And the line was at 12.5 last night. It's moved up to 13.5. It looks like Russell Westbrook is not on the report. It wouldn't surprise me if the Clippers actually rule Kawhi out for this game. I know he's been playing on the second leg of back-to-backs. He's been absolutely hooping. But you still can beat this Clippers team. You still can beat this Kings team without Kawhi in this spot. So the line has moved in favor of the Clippers. The reason why I can't lay this big of a number with the Clippers, they don't have to travel at all. But they did have to go wire to wire. Like the Kawhi was in the game last night when I thought that he probably shouldn't have had to be against him, Benedict Mather, Brook Lopez, all the guys against the Bulls. The Bulls covered that spread last night, and the Clippers, starters probably played a few too many minutes. Now the Kings don't want to win the game, of course, but you do got Westbrook off the report. And the reason why, what was it? It was a big reason I don't like Clippers. What was it? I think, 7 game and 11 nights for the Clippers in this spot. So outside of just second leg of back-to-back, third and fourth and sixth, I think it's 5th and 8 and it's 7th game and 11 nights. They have, they were 8-2 ATS last game before last game, but now they're starting to lay these super big numbers. Clippers haven't been this big of a favorite, in back-to-back games probably all season. But again, you're playing the Bulls and the Kings, and the Bulls won the second leg of a back-to-back last night. So I say all that. I can't get to the Kings at all, but I think if I had like a free bet, I probably would play Kings right now and think that Kawhi may be rolled out or Brook Lopez may be rolled out, because again, it is 7 game and 11 nights. Both games so far this season have gone over the number, but those were much lower totals at 218.5 and 222.5. The Clippers have beat the Kings in 6 straight games, is what I wrote in my notes as well. So I don't know. I think that the Clippers, of course, can submit their injury report late. I think we see some additions added to that injury report. But we shall see. We shall see. Malik says, hey, I'm genuinely curious how cheap are Wizard tickets. Ever look to go to a game? Yeah, but then, so every time me and my girl talk about going to the Wizards game, my son, I told y'all, my son knows that the Wizards suck. So he's like, not even like appreciative of like wanting to go to a Wizards game. He's like, Dad, I don't want to see them. They're trash. I'm like, man, my fault. I probably shouldn't have did that. But yeah, I go to game time often just to kind of see like how much the prices are to go see the other team. But the Wizards are such a bad product that I really don't even want to see them either. Like I would rather like stay at home, sit in the corner, and just count my thumbs. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and watch a lot of these tanking teams play. I don't want to see like this development of like some of these teams that are tanking. Like I don't want to see that stuff unless I know somebody's going in there to try to grab like 85, which I feel like every team should try to, like I feel like every team the Wizards play against should have a superstar that's trying to outscore Bam, because that's the Wizards and they want to put a tanking product on the floor. So absolutely thrash them, right? They're not coming out there to play with pride. So, take their pride from them. I'm not playing. I feel like, this is my personal opinion, I feel like the Wizards should pay me to show up in DC, right? For me, it's about a 2.5 hour ride to DC. And I got to find parking. Like I want to invest in like paying for pop. My son loves popcorn. He can't go to a game or a movie without popcorn. I'm gonna pay $10 for popcorn, $40 for parking. I'd rather go see the Mystics. Every game, I'd rather be a season ticket holder for the Mystics and have to drive to DC for every single game than to see the Wizards play one time. But yeah, tickets aren't super expensive. You can get in, depending on who they're playing against. I'm looking at them right now. Against the Jazz is $4. And you can't tell me that the Wizards versus the Jazz is worth any amount of U.S. currency. Like, it's just not something that I'm willing to do with my money. You wouldn't be able to pay me $4 either. Like, I would need way more than $4 to go to a Wizards game versus the Jazz. But yeah, the big games are like, they're pretty big. Like the Warriors, they about to play the Warriors. I did see that. $34. My son loves Steph. He wouldn't even want to go see that game. He'd be like, Dad, can we see him play against the Lakers? Now them tickets, of course, start at 400. So yeah. But speaking of games, I did get some tickets to. I got some tickets to Charlotte. I'm going to watch Charlotte play Detroit. I'm going to watch Charlotte play Detroit in that game in Charlotte that's coming up next month. I'm taking my son to that game. That's gonna be his first NBA game. He's super hyped for it. He like Cade, he like LaMelo, so back and forth there, be good. Yeah. You can get some pretty decent tickets, like 211 lower level for Golden State and Washington. But who going to see that without Steph? Not me. Like, I'm not going to watch Draymond get kicked out early and be out there watch Brandon Brzezinski and Geese Santos. Nah, man, it's not what I'm doing with my money. Let's see. Daniel says, I think they pay you to go see the Wizards game. They should. We definitely should. Yeah, I can't. Ain't no way possible, man. Parking is absolutely a scam. For me to leave my car right here for 30 minutes, for 2 hours, for 3 hours, I got to pay you $60. It's insane, but I just pay it. Whatever. Appreciate you, Badmo. I wish I felt confident on some looks for today so I could, based on this injury report, but the jankiness time of the season, man. I'm gonna lock in though. We'll definitely start to make some money for sure. I'm gonna get ready to do Jay show. I don't have anything official for today, but if I was playing, let me tell you guys what I would play. I would play. Let's see. Let's get this to the next screen. I like the Noah Clowney boards. I probably wouldn't be a full unit just because it is a plus money play. But Noah Clowney over 4.5 rebounds was plus 130 against the weak Philadelphia 76ers. If I am playing that game too, I talked about it. It's over. Over 217.5, I think is the correct play, even without all the firepower that's missing. Brooklyn gonna play. I think Philly will pace Brooklyn up. You just worry Brooklyn got enough offense to even get to 100 points. Their offense sucks so bad, but Philly defense ain't good either. So that's that game. Milwaukee, Atlanta. I can't give you guys a recommendation without knowing the status of MPJ and KPJ and Giannis. Washington, Boston, and Charlotte and San Antonio waiting on the Wemby news. Orlando, Miami. I want to play under, but I don't think I can pull the trigger. Just a little gunshot right now on unders. Denver, LA, also want to play under. Looks like 246s are gone now. Kind of coming back down just a tad bit. And Sacramento and LA, the Clippers, I think is a game that will have some injury report stuff. Total has shot up in that one as well. So we shall see, man. Maybe some Benedict Mathurin props in that game. But we shall see. I hope you guys find some ways to make some money today. As the injury report clears up, I may have a couple plays. Malik says, I need the Bull tickets to be $4. They on the way though. Oh man, that's the house that Jordan built, man. They can't do that. You can't put them tickets at $4. Oh man. Check the resources out. I need to go through Moneyballer real quick. I don't think I've showed you guys the update. I'm actually gonna do that real quick right now. This Moneyballer has gotten absolutely insane. So real quick, let's just go here real quick, and I'm gonna jump off here. So I was looking at this Orlando and Miami game. So now for people who have seen this before, maybe you haven't been using it or you haven't been using it at all. Now they have an injury report here, right? So I can click on the injury report, drop down, it lets me know, all the players that are out on the Orlando side of things, who's questionable. See Noah Powell and Tyler Hero listed as questionable, and you can see what they're questionable with. So illness, right? For both of them, right groin strain, and then who's available to play. You guys can see that as well. Khalil Ware is off the injury report. That should help the defense. And you can see 3rd and 4 coming off the overtime game for the Magic. So not situational spots you want to back. Heat, in-season revenge. They also have some baller systems here. Extended home comfort spot. So last 5 years, 56% trend backs the Heat because they've been at home comfortably. Last 365 days, about 50-50. This season, 64%. So this says Heat, overtime hangover. This is the Magic coming off a win, probably as a team coming off an overtime game. over teams that win. Matter of fact, let's just look at that real quick. So teams that are coming off a win in previous overtime is greater than 0 are they win 46% of the time. And what if they are a dog in the next game? They win 29% of the time, 46% ATS. So yeah, this is probably that trend. What if they are a short road dog? This is what I do sometimes. I just kind of look at these systems. 29% straight up. So it says Miami wins the game today, but I can't just play Miami. I need to know what happened with the injury report. So a road dog off of overtime game when they previously won, and let's just add that let's just add that they're getting less than 5. So now they win 41% of the time. They cover 51% of the time. A lot more losses than wins, though. And then I just like to look past COVID, like last 5 years specifically, including this season. And they are, let's see. $10 and 19 straight up, 13 and 16 against the numbers. So nothing really sticking out here at all. More recently, they've been getting smoked, though. Looks like since 2023 season, just 2 and 4 against the number. So, all right. Anyway, getting back to here, you still have your notable trends. So the Heat, you can see 10 and 2 ATS against the spread. Also 7-0 ATS as a home as a favorite in the last 30 days. So a lot of things to like for the Heat. Also a lot of things to like for the Magic. You can see the Magic ones here. Both of these teams kind of, a lot of green means that, both are doing pretty well in this spot. You can look at the scheduling as you always could, and then team comparison numbers as well. It's just a ton of really cool things over here to like. They also have the new EV props. So it'll show you value based on player props, which is kind of crazy. So they scan the injury report to filter out, all the things. It tells you that Adem Bana has a plus 8.4 edge on his points, rebounds, and assists, actually to stay under the 16.5. So thinking that it's a little bit overvalued, even though you can see the injury report here. So Bana is under. There's a lot of really great ones. So I think they rank these based on edge, and it's all sorted by Pinnacle, which is the sharpest sports book in the NBA. And you can see when it's last updated. Last updated looks like 3 minutes ago. So really cool stuff, man. You can kind of play around with it. Go through. If you want to look at blocks, combos, points, rebounds, assists, you can get all this over on the Moneyballer. Also, the schedule grid is pretty cool, right? So it shows you every single team for the whole week, right? And it shows you based on, their strength of schedule. So like based on their actual power rating. So Charlotte, you can see, they were playing a Portland team that was green, Sacramento team that was green. They had 2 days off, and now they're playing a San Antonio team that is a very difficult matchup. So you can kind of see the teams for the whole week, right? This lets you know how many teams are playing, how many games, how frequently, right? So there's a lot of really, really cool stuff over here on the Moneyballer that you can kind of use for your own, sports betting stuff. This Dallas spot was crazy, right? So Atlanta, we talked about this yesterday. I talked about, Cleveland. I think I said Dallas team total under, which they did stay under in the video yesterday. I didn't bet it. But Atlanta, Memphis, Cleveland, and then Cleveland again. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 games in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 games in 6 nights for this week. So a lot of games for the Dallas Mavericks. A lot of them on the road too. A lot of cool stuff over here. You can optimize it, share it. You got NBA, WNBA, which is hopefully is right around the corner, but we'll see how that goes. All right. So yeah, I wanted to make sure I shared that with you guys real quick. just because I've been meaning to do that for a while. Got a bunch of really cool stuff over there on Moneyballer. So check that out. As always, that link is in the description. And that'll be it for today, man. Best of luck on whatever it is that you guys are playing. We'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully I can find some stuff for tomorrow. I might go through the player props a little bit deeper as well today. And I'll send out whatever I come up with to the members, man. Y'all be good. I'll catch you guys in the next one.